At 25, $50,000 can feel rich, while at 55, it may feel dangerously small. That is because wealth is never just a number. It depends on your age, income, responsibilities, and time. A 22-year-old with no debt may be stronger than a 40-year-old earning twice as much, but owing everything. So this video will not give you one magical dollar amount that everyone must reach. Instead, we will build a practical age-by-age roadmap using net worth, income multiples, and financial resilience. Net worth is simple. Everything you own minus everything you owe. Cash, investments, retirement accounts, home equity, and valuable property count as assets. Credit cards, student loans, car loans, mortgages, and other balances count as debts. The result matters more than your salary because it shows how much of your financial life you truly own. Use every target in this video as a compass, not a verdict on your worth or future. Before age 25, your biggest asset is usually not money. It is your future earning power. At this stage, a net worth near zero can be completely normal, especially after school or job training. The real danger is not having little money. It is building expensive habits before your income becomes stable. Your first goal is to avoid high-interest debt that keeps charging you for yesterday's decisions. Next, build a starter emergency fund of at least 1 month of essential expenses. Then invest small amounts consistently, even if the first contribution feels almost meaningless. At 22, investing $100 monthly can matter more than waiting years to invest $1,000. Your target before 25 is not luxury. It is positive momentum and a financial system you can repeat. A reasonable milestone is a positive net worth, no toxic debt, and 1 to 3 months of cash reserves. If you reach 25 with those foundations, you are richer than your bank balance suggests. Around age 25, aim for a net worth between 1/4 and 1/2 of your annual income. If you earn $60,000, that framework suggests roughly $15,000 to $30,000 in net worth. That number can include retirement savings, cash, investments, and any equity you have already built. But do not inflate the number by counting a car at its purchase price while ignoring the loan. At 25, your savings rate often matters more than the exact total you have accumulated. Someone saving 20% on a modest salary may be progressing faster than a high earner saving nothing. Try to direct at least 10 to 20% of income towards savings, investing, and debt reduction. Keep fixed costs low enough that one bad month does not force every surprise onto a credit card. The best sign of wealth at 25 is having choices. Change jobs, move, learn, or survive a setback. If your number is lower, do not chase risky returns. Increase the gap between what you earn and spend. By age 30, a useful target is roughly 1/2 to 1 full year of income in net worth. With an $80,000 income, that means approximately $40,000 to $80,000. This is often the decade when income rises, but lifestyle inflation rises just as quickly. A larger apartment, newer car, frequent travel, and subscriptions can quietly absorb every raise. The solution is to save part of every raise before your lifestyle has time to claim it. By 30, try to hold 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in accessible cash. Retirement contributions should be automatic, diversified, and boring enough to continue during stressful markets. If you have debt, prioritize balances with high interest while still collecting any available employer match. Your housing and transportation choices will now shape your wealth more than most small daily purchases. At 30, being on track matters more than appearing successful to people who never see your balance sheet. By age 35, a strong benchmark is about 1 to 2 times your annual income in net worth. Earning $90,000 would suggest a net worth near $90,000 to $180,000. This is where compounding should begin doing visible work beside your monthly contributions. Your portfolio gains may still be small, but the system should no longer depend on motivation. Marriage, children, home ownership, or career changes can make this stage financially complicated. Wealth at 35 means protecting progress with insurance, updated beneficiaries, and basic estate documents. Avoid becoming house rich and cash poor by putting every available dollar into a down payment. Home equity can strengthen net worth, but it cannot easily pay a sudden medical bill tomorrow. Keep retirement, emergency savings, and medium-term goals working together instead of competing for leftovers. If you are behind at 35, the highest impact move is often increasing income without expanding fixed costs. By age 40, consider targeting 2 to 3 times your annual income in total net worth. At $100,000 of income, that equals roughly $200,000 to $300,000. 40 is a financial checkpoint because time still helps you, but delays become more expensive. This is the age to calculate whether your current contribution rate can actually support your future lifestyle. Do not assume that earning more later will automatically solve a savings gap created today. Review every major liability, including mortgage terms, car debt, private loans, and revolving credit. You should also know your retirement balance, investment fees, asset allocation, and expected monthly expenses. At 40, hidden fees and poor decisions have decades less time to recover. Your goal is not simply accumulating assets, it is reducing the number of ways one crisis can destroy them. A wealthy 40-year-old owns a growing system that can continue even when life becomes inconvenient. By age 45, a practical target is around 3 to 4 times your annual income in net worth. With a $110,000 income, that suggests about $330,000 to $440,000. At this stage, your peak earning years may be beginning, but family costs may also be at their highest. College expenses, aging parents, and larger homes can pull money away from your own future. Helping family is valuable, but borrowing against retirement can create a second emergency later. Increase contributions when debt disappears instead of allowing every paid-off bill to become new spending. This is also a good time to simplify scattered accounts and understand exactly what each investment owns. If most of your net worth is trapped in one house or one company stock, diversification becomes urgent. Your emergency fund may need to be larger if your income is specialized or difficult to replace. At 45, wealth means having enough strength that one career setback does not reset 20 years of work. By age 50, aim for approximately 5 to 6 times your annual income in net worth. A $120,000 income would translate to roughly $600,000 to $720,000. This target may sound large, but much of it should come from decades of contributions and growth. At 50, retirement stops being a distant idea and becomes a project with a measurable deadline. Estimate your future spending, healthcare costs, Social Security assumptions, and any pension income. Then compare those needs with the income your assets can reasonably produce. Avoid taking extreme investment risks to catch up because large losses now have less recovery time. A better catch-up plan combines higher contributions, lower future expenses, and possibly working slightly longer. Pay attention to health, because medical costs and lost working years can damage even a strong portfolio. At 50, financial fitness and physical fitness start protecting the same future. By age 55, consider a target near 7 to 8 times your annual income in net worth. With a $130,000 income, that equals approximately $910,000 to just over $1 million. Now, the exact dollar amount matters less than whether your assets can fund your actual lifestyle. Someone spending $40,000 yearly may need far less than someone spending $100,000. This is why copying another person's retirement number can be dangerously misleading. Test your plan against market declines, inflation, healthcare surprises, and a longer than expected life. Reduce high-interest debt and avoid entering retirement with payments that consume essential monthly income. Decide whether downsizing, relocating, or working part-time could improve both freedom and security. Review withdrawal taxes, because $1 million in different account types does not spend the same way. At 55, good planning turns accumulated wealth into a reliable future paycheck. By age 60, a useful benchmark is around 9 to 10 times your annual income in net worth. If you earn $120,000, that suggests roughly $1.1 to $1.2 million. However, a lower-income household with a paid-off home and modest spending may need much less. A high-income household maintaining an expensive lifestyle may need several times more. At 60, focus on income sources, tax strategy, healthcare coverage, and the sequence of withdrawals. The first years of retirement can be especially sensitive to major market losses. Holding enough safe assets for near-term spending can reduce pressure to sell during a downturn. Update wills, powers of attorney, beneficiaries, account access, and important financial records. Wealth at 60 is not merely reaching a number. It is knowing how the entire plan works. A complicated portfolio you cannot manage may be less valuable than a simpler plan you can follow. By age 65, many people aim for roughly 10 to 12 times their final annual income. But the true test is whether dependable income can cover essential spending without constant fear. Retirement wealth should include flexibility for repairs, family needs, healthcare, and unexpected inflation. Do not count every dollar as spendable because taxes and future obligations may already claim part of it. A paid-off home can lower expenses, but maintenance, insurance, and property taxes still continue. A larger portfolio does not automatically create peace if spending, family expectations, and decisions remain unclear. Create a simple withdrawal policy so market headlines do not control every monthly decision. Keep some money for joy, because a plan that never allows living is not a successful plan. Also, protect your independence by making finances understandable to a trusted partner or family member. At 65 and beyond, wealth means time, dignity, security, and control over ordinary days. These age targets are useful, but your starting point, career path, family, and location can change everything. Someone who started late can still build wealth by combining time, higher savings, and intentional choices. Someone ahead can still lose progress through lifestyle inflation, concentrated risk, or unmanaged debt. So compare yourself first with your own numbers from 1 year ago. Not a stranger online. Track net worth quarterly, calculate your savings rate, and review major expenses at least once each year. Next, choose the age range closest to you and calculate your current income multiple. If the result is below the range, focus on one lever: earn more, spend less, reduce debt, or invest consistently. If the result is inside the range, protect the system and avoid turning progress into permanent lifestyle costs. If the result is above the range, define what the extra wealth is for: freedom, family, impact, or time. The richest age is not the one with the biggest number. It is the age when money gives you real choices.